a passionate instigator and dynamic problem solver. Dr. Kevin Ross Emery, the host of the Dr. Kevin Radio Show, will be taking you outside the box, behind the curtain, and identifying the load of BS we are fed every day. And now, Dr. Kevin.
Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Kevin Show, where we challenge everything and everyone here on OMTimes Radio, where we change the world, wait for it, one ohm at a time. So we have something a little different for today's show. I am actually going to have my guest in live. It's not very often that I have a live guest that's in the studio with me, but there were some last-minute shifts, and it was the perfect storm, which I am very happy about. And I'm going to be introducing tonight's guest in just a minute. But as always, we have to start with the hot topic. Now, first of all, remember that if you would like to be part of the conversation here on the Dr. Kevin Show, you can go to facebook.com/mydrkevin, MYDRKEVIN. At the top of my Facebook fan page is a picture and a write-up about tonight's guest. And then in the comment area, if you leave a comment tonight, as we are on the air, you can ask a question or leave a comment. If you are not listening to this at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Thursday night, but a replay, you can still go to facebook.com/mydrkevin. You can find the post for tonight's radio show, and you can still ask a question. If I have the answer, I will give it to you. If it is a question for my guest, I always ask my guests that they will be willing to pop back on the Facebook page and answer it. And, most of them say yes. Every now and then I have to threaten to chase them down, grab them by the ankles, turn them upside down, and shake it out of them. But for the most part, they're, pretty happy to come back on and, spend just a little bit more time in the presence of Dr. Kevin, and who would not? So, remember, if you don't love the way the world is, if you don't love the way your life is, if you don't think everything is perfect, if you don't think that things could be changed for the better, then speak out, stand up, make a change, take a choice, and make it an action. Move through the world. And here is an opportunity. It is an opportunity from you moving from just being a passive listener to an active participator. And it will be the active participators which will change the world. So you have your invitation. It's hand engraved. Close your eyes. You can see my handwriting. To you, whoever you may be, stand up, speak out, take a chance, take a risk, make a difference, and come to facebook.com/mydrkevin and share your thoughts, your ideas, and ask questions. And while you're there, if you haven't liked me, make sure you do, because I'm a likable kind of guy. So now we're going to do the hot topic. As we always know, the hot topic is one that either gets me hot under the collar or kind of warm and fuzzy. And then I will introduce my guest, and after doing that, we will see what she thinks of my hot topic. May is Foster Care Month. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it is Foster Care Month. It is a time to celebrate foster care. Foster care is an opportunity to move children from an inadequate or abusive household where they're not getting the time, the attention, and the love that they need into a loving household that will take care of them and nurture them and give them the home that they deserve. This, of course, sounds like it comes right out of a marketing piece for foster care. In that marketing piece, however, they do forget to point out that I think it's 86% was the last statistic I saw. 86% of foster care children end up being on some kind of medication so they can be managed better by these loving, open-hearted people who, of course, get a check for it. And that the last statistic that I saw was somewhere in the 60 to 70 percentile. I may be able to pull it up when we're on break, but by then we will have moved on the topic of abuses that happen in the foster care system. happen by the foster care system, happen by the foster care parents. Abuses both of misuse of funds, of children who report that they're treated like second class, they're humiliated, they're not given, they collect the money, but if their family has their own children, they always come first, and that money is not always spent fully on the child, or they're simply just abused. There is also a strong correlation between foster kids and that end up going out and aging out of the system and end up homeless and without any life skills or techniques or ways to live. So foster care, good thing, bad thing. Is there something we should be doing about foster care to change the system, or does the system need to completely go away and start over? So now I'm going to put tonight's guest on the spot and let her speak out. Tonight's guest is Angie d'Anjou, a spiritual consultant. She has been practicing for over 30 years, so one of these days she'll get it right. I'm sorry. Dude, I got to be careful. She's in the studio. See, the ones that call in, they can't hit me when I say things like this. Angie's experience and connections with angels and spirit guides help Angie to offer true positive guidance to individuals through intuitive ability. Angie utilizes a variety of methods and tools when obtaining messages for a client. She works with the Enchanted Tarot, the Angel Guidance, numerology, tea leaf readings, as well as connecting with deceased loved ones utilizing her psychic medium abilities. She's also a part-time pole dancer. I'm sorry. I was reading a different bio. Anyways, you can find out more about Angie d'Anjou at AngieD'Anjou.com. That's AngieD'Anjou.com. Or you can simply come to Facebook.com/MyDrKevin. Like the page. Don't forget to like the page. And there is a click link, so you can easily go and contact Angie. Angie, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
So, what do you think? Foster care. It's the month to celebrate it. Should we be?
Boy, Dr. Kevin, you really put me on the spot on that one, huh?
I literally ran across it walking back from the errand I had to run onto the show.
Honestly speaking, it has its pros and its cons. Because you have the pieces that you've touched upon are very, right out there. Right now, you see Massachusetts is having issues where they have to actually contact people and see what they're up to more frequently because there have been some abuse issues. However, there are some of those people that do this wholeheartedly, and they take those people and children under their care and do very successful work with them. So it's a good program if you get the right people. And I feel the program needs to readjust itself because, yes, you need monies to take care of these children, but it has to be not like, oh, I'm going to go do this because I'm going to get rich quick scheme or I can have 5 kids in my house and get all this money coming in, because a lot of them, that's how they look at it.
Yes.
They have to turn it around and say, you know what, it's okay to have it, but show me what you're doing with that for that child's.
It's a real conundrum. And the thing is that just like everything else, like I always talk, that there are good doctors, there are good teachers. Mm-hmm. I can never quite go to good politicians, but I keep trying, but maybe I'll get there someday. But at the end of the day, the system itself needs a desperate overhaul. And, some of it is we have a very large and growing and vocal, loving spiritual community. Is there anything that spiritual community could be doing in of itself towards the foster care system? And, it's okay if we want to break out a drum and if we all want to pick a time and send energy and sing Kumbaya, but I think it might need to be just a hair more active than that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely.
No Kumbaya?
No Kumbaya. I do guided meditations. I'll have them all come over for a nice, beautiful meditation of you will be good with these children. A little bit of, a little psychology in there and a little bit of hypnosis. Maybe that'll help.
Well, tell you what, you and I are teaming up on a number of things. I think this is one thing that we might be able to team up on, and we've got some announcements before the show's over, which is why this was perfect that this week opened up. Couldn't have happened in a better way.
Spiritual choice.
Yep, spiritual choices. But you could be doing this beautiful guided meditation. I could be very gently beating a drum with a stick, and then as I'm going around the circle behind him during the meditation, every time you go, and if you feel your anger rising, I'll hit somebody on the back of the head, and if you feel like you want to do damage, I'll hit somebody on the side of the head, and so I'll just do reinforcements, spiritually loving reinforcement. What do you think about that?
What a team.
But I think that part of it is we also want to say I think we also need to not be so quick sometimes to take kids out of homes.
You're right. And there's a lot of situations where why wouldn't we be able to conduct a person that comes into the home? This is one thing that it kind of links into this. Do you know that most of your social workers that are now out there do not make home visits? Like, very rarely. They have to go into the office to see the social worker. You know what? If that social worker is out in the field, instead of sitting at their plush, happy little tiny office, maybe they'd see what's going on in the home.
How can you assess the quality and kind of care that's happening with the child if you're not going to the home? If you're not looking at the home, the condition of the home, the feeding that you're not having conversations, if we're choosing to interfere, and at any moment the music will start coming up, I'm waiting to hear it right now. There it is. And we will be right back with Angie D'Anjou.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know. I've tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Are you wondering what is really going on behind the news? Check it out. Join your hosts Cielito Pascual and Diana Gold-Holland on Share on the Air Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us on shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for. Check it out.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show, challenging everything and everyone here on OMTimes Radio. And on the count of 3, we're all going to help change the world together. And how do we do it? 1, 2, 3. 1. At a time. See, when I have a guest in the studio, we can harmonize.
Harmonize it.
Oh, hey, hot dog. And I have that harmonizing honey, Angie D'Anjou. Didn't know your honey was harmonized, did you?
No, I never do that.
Well, better than homogenized. Wait till I see your honey this week. I'm going to tell him he's been harmonized.
Harmonized.
Yeah. Angie is known for her accuracy in obtaining solid guidance for those who may be having unresolved issues and are not sure of which way to turn next. She is certified angel healing practitioner, a certified Usui Reiki master and teacher, as well as a Shambhala master. She is a certified hypnotherapist and holds a certification with Hypnosis Internal Board of Registration. And so that means that Angie is certifiable, right?
Yeah.
You can find out more about Angie D'Anjou by either coming to facebook.com/MyDrKevin and making sure you like the page. And clicking on the link to either her Facebook page or her AngieD'Anjou.com page. But they're right there for an easy, they're just a simple click away when you're visiting us at My Dr. Kevin. So, Angie, this is my outside the box segment. This is where I say to my guests, take my listeners outside the box.
Outside the box.
Stretch their comfort zones.
Okay.
So.
Well, you know, I knew you were going to go bring me into this outside the box, and I really had to give some thought to this. But I decided it was a good time to go outside of the box of what's missing in what we're doing with the heroin addiction that's going on in New Hampshire and in other states all around us. So I want to recommend that they stop having these 1-month programs and start putting an investment into giving them the real help that they need, which isn't just taking them off the medication, taking them off the drug, changing the medications, obviously, which sometimes brings them to that point. But what I've been seeing, this is outside of the box, what I've been seeing is people who they're brought into a program and then they're told that they're okay after about a month because they need to fill another bed. So they go back out on the street, and then what they do is they lose their control. They have nobody to come back to and connect with. They start to steal. They start to do an offense. They go back into the jail system, that wonderful thing we love. God forbid if we didn't have that. And then from the jail system, they go back into the same place that they just came out of maybe 2 months ago. So, yeah, after you think about this going on for many, many years now, we wonder why.
I'm going to pull Angie and I have a mutual friend who is a regular once-a-month co-host here at the Dr. Kevin Show, Matt Connerton, who comes from Matt Connerton Unleashed. And I'm going to pull a Matt Connerton here.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, you want to know why? Follow the money.
Well, yes.
Yeah. It's very profitable, these cycles.
Yes.
And so is recidivism, the going back to jail. And that happens because we actually cripple them to the point that they're afraid to be out in the world, and they don't have, and there are so many things stacked against them. And again, sometimes they've been in jail because they have a nickel bag of dope or something stupid, and they have these ridiculous mandatory sentences. And, the thing is heroin is an issue in all 50 states. I've been watching this come up, in upper middle class white bread Iowa stories and, down in, deep in the heart of Texas stories. And we are not by far alone in the Northeast with our heroin issue. The heroin has become easy. It has become flowed in. It's easy to get. It's powerful. It's extremely addictive. And there's a lot of money that's made not only by the heroin dealers, but by the recovery dealers. Yes,
there definitely is. It's a plush little desk when you have them keep coming through the door.
And we're not solving the problems of what led you to the addiction. What led you to do that? What needs to change at a core level? And I'm going to list a couple of things that I think are underlying factors with this, which is, and one of the underlying factors is the increasing income disparity.
Oh,
Your
yes.
top 1% have more of the wealth than they've ever had, and the bottom 99, especially the bottom 50, 60%, do not get raises that keep up with the cost of living, cannot afford a lifestyle that they were brought up in 9 times out of 10. We have adult children in their 30s going back home to parents. We've got parents that have kids that are living there well into their 20s because they do everything that you and I did, and we were guaranteed, hey, if you go to college and you get good grades and you work hard, you'll get a job, you'll be employable, and stuff like this. It's not like that anymore.
No, it isn't.
This world has changed, and these kids are living in a very difficult world.
It's a very depressing piece for them.
Very depressing world. And this is also a reflection of the most inept, corrupt government that we've ever had. And that is not Obama. That is not the Democrats. That's not the Republicans. That is the government in of itself. It will not self-police and clean itself up. It will not throw out lobbyists. It will not put in term limits.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So I'm going to share a story with this because this is a very intriguing story, and it kind of gives you that jolter of what might be able to be done if you have the means. Unfortunately, the story I'm going to share with you, the lady was doing this out of the kindness of her heart. And I'm not going to mention names. I'm not going to mention locations. But this lady had a situation with her son, and he ended up being arrested and brought into a jail. And she started to have a practice of meditation where she actually used the mala beads. Now, of course, most places look at you like, oh my God, you got mala beads. What are you doing? What are you trying to convince us of? It's a meditation. So she asked the prison, could my son have some mala beads and want him to pray? And of course, the answer was no, because of the fact that they don't want to strangle himself or whatnot. So she says, okay, then can I meet with him here in this space and do this with him? She started to do it with him. They allowed that. Within 2 weeks of doing this nice meditation and reflection, he actually started to ask to become parts of the program that would help him to rehabilitate out of his drug dependencies and his codependencies of everything, to the point where the people in the structure actually realized the difference that this was making for this boy. They asked her if she would come back and be willing to have a few of the inmates sit with her in these sessions. She started to do this. Guess what? The ones that said, yeah, I'll go and sit in this session, were the ones that were starting to look for what they needed to bring themselves up to the next level, to get themselves out of their addictions, to get themselves out of their codependencies, and live a better life.
And is she still doing this?
On occasion, but she's also trying to get them to add that to all prisons as a format.
And you know what? And that's not going to happen.
No.
And, the funny thing is, and this is
sad, but true.
Well, and this is just it, which is, this is one of those places where maybe if she started or got associated with a nonprofit, that we're using pilot programs that didn't cost the prison anything, that might be able to be underwritten by grants, because there are out there. There are a ton of grants out there. And started to have some results, there would be some areas that would bring the program in. But there are going to be some places that will never bring it in.
It's not going to happen. You know why?
Why?
Because they won't get the return.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, the system wants the return, and the system in key places sets itself up. But we do get a fair amount of double agents in positions that will push their authority. And then when they say, Well, how can you criticize something when I have the lowest return rate of any place in the prison system? And that's when you get the media involved and things happen, and then that's when they squirm.
What you're saying is that people need to get involved. Like with anything else, the people have to start realizing that they can speak and take the time to speak, not just to sit back and say, oh, I can't do anything about it because it's just me. Let's all get together and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the thing is that we pass around on the internet, we do it on Facebook, we do it on LinkedIn, we do it on Instagram, whatever, we do it. We pass out all the cute stories, all the winning stories, all of the stuff. I actually was just responding on break to a story I had posted on my line about a Mawali, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but a Mawali, I think it was Mawali teenager who, through reading books and educating himself, built a couple of windmills in his African country. Built one small one, and it started creating electricity. And then he built a bigger one, and it started purifying water. And he did it all on his own, out of his own curiosity, out of junk. There was garbage that was just laying there. And he's like 15. Because he wanted a better quality of life. And so, when people say, well, what can I do? Well, can one person make a difference? It's only ever been one person that has.
It's true.
Or,
and usually one person that gets the spark going. And
then that one person creates a shift where several people get involved, but there's always one person that's been heading it. And then somebody comes in, and then that idea shifts and changes and evolves, and it grows, and then a group is formed, and then change happens. But, and the music should be coming up any second now. Once that starts, they can't hear us. Even if they hear this faintly, they can't listen. I have talked into so many commercial breaks because
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, this is Julie Geigel.
And I'm Alicia Isaacs-Howes.
And I'm Catherine Glass.
And we're the Psychic Angel Channelers. You can find us every week here on OMTimes Radio at Angel Talk Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
The angels have heard your call and are here to help.
Are you ready to receive?
Remember your magnificence with Angel Talk Tuesday.
Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Milasas, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show, where we challenge everything and everyone. And today we're being challenging to none other than Angie, who is a spiritual consultant. Angie is a meditation coach, a certified minister. I never heard of ministers being certified. I have heard of them being certifiable.
I have my certification for ministry.
Oh, see, I've always heard it more of in a degree, but instead of certified, you just like being noticed.
Certified,
yeah. She's certifiable. Yes. She also holds a certification as a healing minister for the Chrysalis Ministry. After many years in community service and corporate business, Angie opened her holistic and spiritual practice, Heart of Spiritual Healing, in 2001. I saw that movie. I don't remember Heart of Spirit in Healing.
Really?
Yeah. Angie's been a guest on a speaker of variety radio, internet, television productions in the New England area, as well as national broadcast. She also offers her services of sharing knowledge of angels and the metaphysical world at many organizational and gatherings. So, and you can find out more about Angie at www.angiedanjou.com. Or you can come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin. Like my fan page, and at the very top, you will see posted in my feed a picture of Angie, a description of what she does, and a click link to take you either to her Facebook page or to her homepage. So do it the easy way. Come like me, and then go visit Angie. You like that? Like how I do that? Anyways, so... Angie, this is about behind the curtain segment because this is the first time you've been on the Dr. Kevin show.
Yes, it is.
You get to have to pass the quiz. There is a quiz that starts this segment for all new guests.
Here
Are you ready? You ready? Come on, honey. So, from what movie came this line? Ignore the man behind the curtain.
You made it simple for me, thank God.
And it is
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. And it's the same question every week. One, because I just really enjoy saying, ignore the man behind the curtain. But this segment is about exposing truths. And the truth of the matter was that when Toto pulled the curtain away, the great and terrible Oz was just a shyster from Kansas whose balloon got lost. And I think that there is a lot of spin doctors and a lot of levers being pushed and pulled that most people are not getting the truth these days, and they don't even know the difference. So what truth would you like to expose to my listeners? Something that you think that they're not getting the real story on.
Wow.
Well, I warned you. But Angie came on the show at the last minute. My scheduled guest this week canceled.
Okay.
And so I gave her a heads up, but I don't think I was probably as full of the heads up as I should have been.
Let's go with the truth on, well, I think I'm going to become political here.
Oh, my.
Oh, yes.
You go for it, girl. Wind it up and knock it out of the park.
The truth is behind the curtain of why can't we just have votes that we put in instead of having all these logistics that they have to add to them.
Okay. So what truth do you want to expose? It's your job to expose.
I'm exposing this?
Yep. But you got to expose the truth. The truth is what?
The truth is that people need to start to realize that they have to be the ones in control of voting in our nation. We are a democracy, and they don't need to have all of these special, every state does their own thing. Why? Take a ballot, put it in the box, count it, we're good.
Do you think, because I'm in agreement, and I think that there's been more stuff that's out there about the Electoral College, which I don't know if it ever really made sense. They said, some people say, well, at the beginning with farmers and stuff like this, but that's when women didn't count at all, and slaves counted as 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the slaves weren't allowed to vote. I mean, think about it. What happened is you had 100 slaves, so you basically got 75 votes.
Yeah.
76, because you got your own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
guess back then it was for the 1% too, huh?
Well, one of the reasons, because a lot of times people don't realize that the Declaration of Independence almost didn't get signed, and that when Jefferson first wrote it, he eliminated slavery in the Declaration of Independence. He declared that all men were free men, and the Southern colonies said, we won't sign it. Mm-hmm. If you try to do this, then they would have actually taken the side with the Britons. And so Jefferson had to take it out, and it was a huge fight between Jefferson, who actually was from Virginia. He was actually from one of the Southern colonies. I would hope everybody would know that, but I don't have that kind of faith left anymore in our education system. And so are we talking about an act of Congress? Are we talking about, because we know that Congress isn't going to do anything that benefits it, and you can't manipulate votes as easily as you can manipulate electoral votes.
Correct. So let's go back. It's time for the people to speak. They are speaking. They're having issues right now in different states. They see that people are very upset with this. They see, there's a large majority of people, you have to agree with me, that don't want to have this whole electoral college. They want their own votes, period. Yeah. It's very obvious, but we keep getting put into the dark by media.
Well, we get put in the dark by media, and we get played by the politicians who, in cahoots, many times, turn it into hot-button social issues. I had this wonderful, we did this last week on the show, this meme I found it. Well, Congress, I still have it. Hold on. It's right here because okay. It's something about, Congress was as we were being distracted by let's go back here because I think I actually posted it on the line for that show. Congress was being distracted. The media keeps you distracted with bathrooms. Social Security recipients did not receive a cost of living increase in 2016. Congress took $150 billion from the Social Security Retirement Trust. Congress said they need a raise. $174,000 isn't enough to live on. Distraction is a politician's best friend. Yeah. And so when we talk about, you have a lot of individuals that say, we need term limits. We need lobbyist money out of there. We need to get rid of the Electoral College. But then at election time, they get all whipped up and pointed towards hotbed issues that makes them 84% of Congress keeps on getting reelected. And yet they never talk about term limits unless you force them to, and then it gets tabled and something gets connected to it that makes it, the bill can't be supported by one party. And that's the other thing, single issue bills. We need single issue bills.
Single issue, yeah.
Because anytime Congress has a bill they don't want to pass, but nobody wants to touch the third rail. You know the story of the third rail, right? Yes, no, maybe so?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. There's a thing that's called the third rail, because the third rail on a subway used to be where all the electricity was, and if you grabbed it, it would fry you. So they always say there's a whole thing in politics about there are some issues that are considered the third rail, but if you stand up for them, it destroys you in your career. It will basically kill you. And it used to be that eliminating the Social Security system was always the third rail. Like nobody's going to get reelected if they're doing it.
Something. Okay.
Yeah. So part of this was that. So what happens is then they take some bill that they know that the other party is going to rally around to say absolutely not, like making English the national language, or bring up some amendment to an abortion bill, or bringing up some transgendered and bathroom issue, and they're going to stick it on this, and then the other party is going to vote it down and say, well, we would have supported it, but they tied it with this, and so we couldn't, but you know what? They do it for each other.
Mm-hmm.
They sit in a room together and agree. How are we going to sink this bill? Because we want lobbyists. We don't want term limits. We want the Electoral College.
Yeah.
We don't. So we have to. So they lie. They sit down and talk to each other frankly so that they can lie to us convincingly. So what do?
Monitor the terms. Terms are too lengthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, term limits. I am all about term limits. That meme was about term limits.
Yeah. So, it's the people, everybody's forgetting that they are in a democracy because it's up to the people to take the time out to contact those that are pushing for this. Because you elected them. They're not doing you any favors. You elected them to represent you and your community. Not the 1%, not those that decide, oh no, this isn't taboo because I'm in this certain category, but everybody. So if I put my vote in for you and you're not covering what I really want you to see, I have a voice. Nowadays, you got internet.
Yep.
I could give you emails to a lot of congressmen. Boom, goes right to them. And they can't deny that because it's something that is on record.
But we literally...
You can be on Facebook for 5 hours, but you can't throw a spoof at somebody for 2 minutes.
Well, and but the thing is, it needs to be more organized. It needs to be more organized that there has to be, petition of 100,000 signers that goes to the congressman that says, we want you to bring up a bill to limit for term limits. Mm-hmm. And we are going to vote you out next time if you do not have one. And we've got enough votes to make sure we're going to vote you out. And they got to get behind us.
It can't be just in one state, though. You have to have people doing this all through the nation.
And that's the coordination.
Yeah.
It's like if you could put together, if you can put this aside everything from religion and orientation, and you can get rid of the whole idea of the pros and cons of guns and abortions, all of a sudden say, look, we have to take our government back. These are the 5 things we need to do it. And we need one up.
We're out.
We're out.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Dr. Kevin here, and I want to invite you every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to join me on the Dr. Kevin Show, where we have a diversity of guests who help you step outside the box, behind the curtain, and see what a load of crap is going on in the world today, so you have more information with which to make better decisions. We'll see you there. Namaste.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show, where we are the Dramamine, if your waves of consciousness have made you seasick. Oh, I'm sorry. Where we challenge everything and everyone here at OMTimes Radio, where we change the world. How often, Angie? One. At a time. And I'm here with Angie D'Anjou. Angie is a board member of Little Iguanas Children's Safety Foundation. She thinks that all iguana children should be kept safe. I think that's a good thing. A member of the Essex County Ghost Project Paranormal Group. Normal is only an illusion, right? Oh, I'm sorry. And she holds a professional membership at the William Rand Institute of International Reiki Institute. Angie offers her unusual services as well as a large variety of workshops pertaining to the psychic, metaphysical, and spiritual worlds. You didn't expect me to be completely serious, right?
No.
You knew better, right? Including our offerings are home parties, special event planning, wedding ceremonies, house blessings, and sage clearings. All services are available by advanced registration only. You can see more about Angie at angiedeanjou.com, or you can come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin. Hit the like switch, because I'm a likable guy, just in case you forgot. And then posted at the top is a link to Angie's website, her Facebook page, stuff like this. So, Angie, in our last segment, this is What a Load of Crap with Dr. Kevin. It's where you get to expose any load of crap you want to the world, and that's what I let every other guest do, and you're getting something different.
What a load of crap, huh?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about a load of crap. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we've got coming up, because we've got some exciting stuff coming up. And this was unexpected. And if we have some time, or if you're heartbroken, I'll have you on again and you can talk crap, okay?
Okay.
I'll let you talk crap some other time. Angie, I'm going to talk about Web of Light.
Yeah, Web of Light.
Yeah. Let my listeners know what we're doing. What are we up to? What kind of mischief are we creating?
We're going to start some big mischief. We're starting to, our show is going to be starting in June. We'll be starting to tape it at the beginning of June, and we're actually going to be promoting people and bringing guests on that are of the light, people who are doing good deeds, people who are showing that they have some good positive vibes, nonprofit organizations, finding out what they do for us and what we can do for them, along with a lot of other variety of topics, which I'm sure will come around. And we're also going to have an astrologer, which will be with us once a month.
Yeah.
And you know more about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Why don't you go on with that?
Well, and one of the things I want to let people know is that our TV show, because I don't know that either one of us said the word TV.
Right. I didn't say TV.
Yes, they're going to assume radio.
Yes, that's right. You see our faces.
Yes, you get to see our faces and anything and everything that's attached to those faces. But the TV show is going to come out through Hudson Public Access.
Yes.
Channel 20. But it's also being put through, so it's going to be syndicated through other public access channels throughout the country. But in today's day and age, you and I are going to be putting every show online.
Yes, we will.
It's going to be at facebook.com/MyDrKevin. Weekly, I will be posting the show for people to watch. It's going to go on my YouTube by Dr. Kevin, MYDRKEVIN. So join my YouTube channel. I'll be putting it out through my Tumblr account and my Instagram. Angie, where are some of the places
I will actually be putting it on my Facebook, which is Angie D'Anjou. I don't know what those pieces are because I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately.
It is facebook.com/Angie Angie.D'Anjou.
Yes, it'll be on there. Links to it from there. I will also be putting it on LinkedIn as a open commentary of some sort, just so people can see it.
Are we connected on LinkedIn?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know. Go ahead, keep talking. Because I've got a ton of followers on LinkedIn. I mean, I've got a ton of connections on LinkedIn.
And it, of course, will always be on my website, angiedonjou.com. I'm sure there's a few other spots that I'm not thinking about that I network at, which wherever I go, I'm sure I'll find it in YouTube space. But you'll have plenty of access to our programs.
Absolutely. And so we're probably going to want to break it up because I'm now looking, because she said that. So, of course, I immediately went from participating in the conversation to looking up to see, yes, we are connected on LinkedIn. So we'll split up because there's no sense of us both putting it on LinkedIn, even though we have different people following us. Actually, maybe we should both put it on because we definitely have some different people. So what made you want it? Because I've done a ton of TV as the guest. And I've played with my own show, and I've been approached a couple of times about having my own show. But you did a show before.
I've had a show. My show that I had before was It was under my Center for Awakening, which, Awakening Moments with Angie D'Anjou. I didn't stay with it too long, though. I left it and had other things to venture into. But now that I've started to come back into this, and Kevin attacked me and said, hey, let's do some stuff together, because he's now finally settling into this area, which is an awesome thing.
Dr. Kevin is settling back into New England.
But so I was like, I'd love to have a TV show again. And I found out that, of course, I have my Hudson community. And then you also have the Web of Light Foundation, which I didn't really know about, honestly, until you mentioned it. And when you did, I was like, well, let's wake that up.
Web of Light Foundation. Yeah, the Web of Light Foundation, also known as WOLF, is about creating leaders of the pack. And some of the programs that I will be seeking grants for and stuff, because the shell is in place, but it hasn't really, it came at the time that, around the same time that I got sick, and a lot of different plates, got semi-abandoned until I got back on my feet, and it's been a long haul.
Well, that deal.
Yep. It's been a long haul. And so part of what I want to do is have actual people that are involved with WOLF that offer alternative solutions for traditional problems, like I do for ADD and ADHD, and I do as a medical intuitive, and as you do. And we were talking about the woman with the mala beads. I mean, she could get underwritten, if there was a grant, she could accept the grant through our foundation, because creating leaders of the pack is about giving people what they need to succeed. And oftentimes to get healthy or to move forward or overcome a limitation or a perceived limitation, traditionals are not as powerful as the alternatives. And a holistic program is better, but nobody covers a holistic program.
That's right.
So part of it will be to raise money so that if somebody comes that really needs our help and can't afford alternative practitioners, we would be paying the practitioners to work with them. So that the practitioner gets paid, the weaver of light gets paid, and then the person who wants to go an alternative route, whether it's over a health issue, a mental health issue, an emotional health issue, whether it's about a developmental issue, whatever it is, an addiction, that we will have people that are associated with WOLF that have been vetted, that do good work and have a success rate, have a track, of success.
Record of success, yeah.
That are going to be able to say, hey, I've got somebody that wants to work with me. And then they have to fill out for a small grant. And our job is to keep the money flowing into WOLF to be able to go out and say, you want to work with Angie on this? Angie's got a proven track record. It's all it's non-traditional. And we know the insurance company's not going to pay for it, and the government's not going to pay for it, and any assistance they have is not going to pay for it. As we talked before, because oftentimes they don't want them to get out of the loop, the cash loop.
Yeah.
We have about a minute and a half left.
It's going to be, actually, we're focusing on everything, including sound healing, pet, what do they call that, pet therapy?
Pet therapy.
Yeah, all those things. So I really feel that this foundation, I'm hoping, you get it moving. And with this, we're going to start the show with a light, which is going to bring out people who are the light, who are well known for what they have done to create the light.
Yeah.
But we will have fun with it too.
Well, that's
always going to be.
Yeah, it's always about having fun. Having fun, educating, empowering. If you want to find out more, if you want to make sure that you're on our list, that you are getting in the loop, then again, you can come to facebook.com/mydrkevin. You can come to mydrkevin.com and just join my mailing list there, which is getting ready to be dusted out and revitalized because it's been sitting there with a whole lot of people wanting stuff from me, and I've just not been sending a whole lot out. Mm-hmm. Or you can go to Angie d'Anjou or Angie, ANGIE, at angied'anjou.com.
Mm-hmm. Any questions, I'll take them.
Yep. So we want you to participate. We need you to support us to support you.
And if you know of anyone who you feel should be on the website, please introduce them to us.
And that's this week's show here on the Dr. Kevin Show on OMTimes.